If I could travel back in time knowing what I know, shit would be a lot different. If you know, you know. Everything I'm not made me who I am. Make it to the top was my only plan.
Yo, it's your boy HJ. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Pay attention, man. You might learn something.
Yeah, y'all, it's your boy HG, man. Reporting live from North Philly. Got my guy with me. State your name, man.
What's good, bro? It's your boy, the Mossgod.
Where you from?
Jamesburg, Elizabeth, Eastwick, man.
How was it coming up out there?
It was. I don't know, man. It's like a bittersweet moment growing up in Elizabeth, man. You know, originally, Jefferson Park, Salem Ave, Cherry Street. Like that's my area.
That's like Uptown, right?
Yeah, Uptown. That's where all the Haitians is at. You know what I mean? So it was like I loved growing up with my guys. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of sad times, but man, it was a lot of happy times too. We had a ball, man.
For those who don't know, Elizabeth is like right by Newark, Jersey City, all that stuff up there. Like it's all right next to each other. Linden,
Roselle, Linden,
Yep. So you was like right in the mix of everything. Would you say it was like dangerous coming up, or like how was it?
Yeah, it was definitely dangerous growing up. I was living over in Roselle initially when I was a child at birth, growing up to about like 5 years old. I was of course in Elizabeth. And my mom, my dad, they had got divorced, and then my mom's moved to Roselle. So we was in Roselle for a little bit. Then when my mom and my dad they got back together, remarried, we went to somewhere called Scotch Plains, which is like near like Plainfield. But then like a year later, 2 years later, we went back to Elizabeth.
That's all like Union County though, right? Like
that's all Union County.
Yeah, because I know a lot about Plainfield. I know about Elizabeth.
Shout out to Plainfield. Free my man Dean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that's like your second home a little bit.
Yeah. Got a lot of.
That was my next question. Like I was going to ask you, like, did you move around a lot, or did you like kind of stay in Elizabeth? So you just answered that.
Yeah. We moved around a lot. Yeah, but mainly Elizabeth was like where I was at. You know what I mean? Even like I said, growing up, like my first time getting shot, I was 16. You know what I mean? So like Elizabeth, it was dangerous. Like you had to watch out. Like you know what I mean? Like we had homies dying. It's people dying in the streets. You know what I mean? It was full blown out wars all the time.
That's another question I wanted to ask you. Like Elizabeth got a lot of history with Haitians, like having the beef out there. Like
right.
Like being as though you was Haitian, did it like tease you growing up, or did you have it rough like with that?
I think like when I was like younger, like around maybe around 9, 10. You know what I mean? It was a lot of teasing going on. You know what I mean?
You don't got the accent or nothing, so somebody might even know you Haitian for real. Like,
well, look, I had it was. I definitely didn't have the accent, but like when somebody asked me if I was Haitian, I always told them I was Haitian. And even then, when I was in school, I always gravitated to my own people.
So did they call you like HBO and stuff like that, Haitian body odor and stuff like that?
Nah, niggas get disrespectful. You know what I mean? They'll see certain shit, but like once you start. People, they know your name out there. You hold your shit down. You feel me? Like it ain't gonna be too much of that going on. Niggas is gonna be scared to say stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, Elizabeth. For a fact, I know that it's a war going on out there with the Haitians and other hoods. Cause I used to go out there with you. You know what I mean, before I did my bid, and you was introducing me to Elizabeth. I never really knew much about it.
Right.
So I started meeting people with you, and then once I got booked, I started meeting them guys in there.
Right.
I see the same guys you introduced me to. I met a few of them in there. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I seen what was going on, and I was like, kind of like, I wasn't in the middle of it, because I was cool with both sides. I was cool with the American dudes, and I was cool with the Haitians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then it's like I'm Muslim on top of that. So like certain dudes would be like, certain Haitian boys would be like, man, you hanging with them? Like those are the guys we beefing with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I took a liking to both of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not from y'all city, so I ain't deal with y'all politics. But I seen what was going on as far as like the beef, like how real it could get. But when we was in there, they kind of like was on some type time like we leave it alone in here. We get back to the streets, we pick it up where we left off at. You know what I'm saying?
And Elizabeth is like, how people got that shirt like Detroit versus everybody or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus everybody. Like in Elizabeth, is really like beef is like really like Haitians versus everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like Haitians is always beefing. Like if there's no smoke, it might be no smoke, but like Haitians, like when I was growing up around my time, we talking about 05, 06, 07, the real ones, they know. If they was around that time, we was looking for smoke.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, we was always in certain things, and we was always beef with multiple
So
people.
the main hood I know was like Jefferson Park. That's where all the Haitians be at.
Jefferson
right?
Park is like the home base, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
and
you got Salem Park.
Yeah, I've been to Salem.
And then you got Cherry Street. That's
Okay.
where I used to live around. I used to live on Sayre Street. I used to live right around the corner from Cherry Street. Yeah.
No doubt. So let's talk about your case. You know what I'm saying? I know you see I do prison stories and all that, and I don't do them to glorify. So with you, I kinda like wanted you to tell your story because, you know, we come from similar backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? And you turned your life around for the better, man. So I kinda wanna show dudes that, you know, you can come from that, and, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can come home and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know you caught a case. How old was you when you caught your case?
Which case we talking about?
The one that you went down for. The one you went down for.
For the juvenile joint?
Yeah.
All right. So like when I first caught my official case, like having to go down, like I've always been in and out, you know, the jail system and stuff like that. But when I first caught my official case, it was for a second degree armed robbery, and of course possession of firearm, and that was at the age of 17.
So what was you doing? Like you caught somebody slipping and just decided you wanted to rob somebody one day?
It was, this shit was crazy. So it was me and my man's Islam. He actually down for a body right now. You know, he was on the run, came home. He was on the run, and I think they caught him in like England or whatever, like, and extradited him. But he got caught up for a body. But when that was my man's when we was young boys, and I think it was like what happened was it was like a couple days before Haitian Flag Day, and you know when Haitian Flag Day come up, like everybody trying to get fly, everybody trying to be that guy, you know. So me, I was always a hustler. I was always like selling drugs at the time, you know what I mean. So I was never in the robbing. But I had asked him, I was like, yo, like, is there any type of way I could make some extra bread? You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, you know, there's a jug, you know, so he put me on to it, you know what I mean? And like at
it was like
first,
a store or something?
It was like a little lottery.
Oh, like some like underground type
some
something.
underground shit.
He was playing numbers pretty much.
Yeah, like people,
yeah,
exactly, you know what I mean? So he was like, yo, that's the spot, like blah blah. But it was crazy because before we hit that joint, we were supposed to hit some cash checking spot. You know what I'm saying? But the shit never went down the way it was supposed to because we realized that we was on camera. And I realized, so I was like, oh yeah, this is a abort.
So he wasn't Haitian, the dude you talking about?
No, he wasn't Haitian. He was Arabic.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. But matter of fact, I take that back. He was an Arabic. He was Egyptian, like African.
Okay, all right.
Like, you know what I mean? I always get that mixed up, but yeah, he's like African.
So when you caught your case, did he end up telling or he held it down?
Nah. He ain't tell on me. Nah. He
All
ain't
right.
tell on me.
So when you caught this second degree charge, like how much time was you facing?
I was facing 17 to 20 years because I was 17. I caught the charge in May. My birthday was in July. So I was 2 months away from being 18, but I had a great lawyer. Shout out to Karam. I still my
Shout out to Karam. Met Karam.
You know what I mean?
Good dude. And he wasn't cheap neither, was he?
Nah. You know, Karam is very expensive.
Pretty petty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to my man Money Griff from Plainfield too, because you know we had the same lawyer, so he was.
He put you on the lawyer.
Yeah.
So did he fight to keep it as a juvenile? Because they was
Yeah,
trying to waive you up, right?
Basically, they had 60 days to waive me up at the time, but he was able to stall him out. He was able to stall the prosecutor out. By the time they were trying to waive me, it was like the 61 to 62nd day. Like, I forgot how this shit happened, but it was like a day after. Mm-hmm. Whether it was 45 days or 60 days, it was a day after where they was trying to do it, and the judge was like, you can't do it because the time is up. So they had to keep me as a juvenile. So I was facing 17 to 20. And they was trying to get me, of course, to rat and do all that, blah, blah, blah.
They was.
So in my mind, I'm preparing myself to do 17 to 20 years.
So look, you 17 years old, and they telling you you looking at 17. That's the time you've been on this earth. Yeah. So I know in the back of your head, you like, yo, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was, for me, like, snitching was already out the question. Like, it was like, it's not.
But let's keep it 100 though. A lot of dudes do take that route though.
Of course.
Most dudes take that route.
Of course, a lot of niggas take that route.
Especially at that type of time.
You know, with me growing up in a Haitian household, it was deeper than rap for me because my mother and my father used to always say, You gotta stop doing what you're doing. You too deep in it, and you're gonna find yourself in certain situations. And I always told them like, yo, I know what I'm doing.
So once you made your bed, you knew you had
so
to lay
once
in
I
it.
made my bed, I had to lay in. I had to lay in that joint.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it was like, if I went, like, you gotta understand, like, if I wasn't told and did all that, you know what my mother and my father would have been on? Like,
They wouldn't even respect it.
people don't understand the Haitian, growing up in a Haitian household. I would have heard it from the niggas all the time.
It's real big on morals. Like, that's how we
Very
brought
big
up,
on
for sure.
morals. So for me, it was like, that shit was out the question. Like, I was preparing myself to do 17 to 20 years. But when the time had passed for the prosecutor to wake me up, the judge ended up saying that, all right, boom, you can't, we're going to keep him as a juvenile. And at that time, me being prepared for 17 to 20 years, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to take this to trial as a juvenile.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I knew that worst come worst, I'd probably get 3-4 years. And I was prepping myself for 17 years. So if I'm 17 and knowing I'm going to come home at 21, 22, I was like, oh yeah, like now I'm definitely taking this to trial, and I'm a juvenile, like it's on. Like,
right.
So I looked at it like it was a
so
win.
basically, you know that the worst you can get is juvenile life, and that's only up to like 21 or something.
Nah, not even juvenile life, because you was only getting juvenile life if you caught a bomb.
Murder, yeah, for sure.
So like the robbery at that time was carrying 3 years on a max term.
As a juvenile.
As a juvenile.
All right.
And I lost trial.
You took the trial.
I did lose trial.
Okay.
And then I got 3 years. My Judge McDaniel, I'll never forget him. And he told me the day of sentencing, he was like, I don't know if you did this crime, and I don't know if you didn't do it.
It was a jury trial.
Nah, it was a judge trial.
So how you find you guilty?
Because they was talking to the judge. At that time, I don't even think they had, like, as a juvenile, I don't even think you could pick a jury.
Okay.
You feel me? Like you had, actually, you know what? I take that back. Matter of fact, I think you can call a jury, but for us, my lawyer, he made the decision to just talk to
the
judge because the judge knew who I was. I've always been locked up, so we already had that relationship. So he's like, let him judge the case. He's like, Karam thought that he was going to judge it in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, he was like,
it's a gamble.
I don't know if you did it. I don't know if you didn't. But I'm gonna give you 3 years to think about it. And he sent me down.
That's crazy.
3 years, yeah.
So you end up going to the youth house or something, right, in Union County, and then you end up going to Jamesburg, right?
We went to J-Rack.
I don't even know what that is. What
J-Rack is like
You went straight there?
They basically like in a month. They sent me down to J-Rack.
That's like the young boy craft or something.
That's like a young boy craft for
okay.
juveniles.
All right.
So from J-Rack, they trying to see like, based on your charges and your points or whatever, you either gonna go to a program, and you could go home off a program, or you gonna go down Jamesburg, which is medium security.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's medium security, or
you go to Ep, right?
You go to Ep. No, matter of fact, Jamesburg was something else security. Like Ep was medium security, I think.
So y'all don't have a max for the juvenile?
I don't think they didn't have a max. Like Ep was the max.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ep was the max. Yeah.
So Jamesburg is like a medium, or is it like a minimum?
It's a minimal.
Right.
Because Jamesburg, like you out, like
you know what's crazy. So me being a young boy moving to Jersey, whatever, I always heard about Jamesburg, and I just always heard that was a place you didn't want to go. Like,
right.
Like and dudes got to keep in mind. The adolescents, the juveniles, they're wilder than the adults because they still trying to get a name. Like,
exactly.
So they're more violent. They're every day they rumbling, all that.
Right.
And it's this dude I was watching named Stack Stone. He's from Brooklyn, and he said, "Yo, when I caught my bid in Jersey, that's where I learned how to fight at." He's like, "Cause New York, they use the 52 blocks and all that, but he said Jersey, it's a state where a lot of dudes box at."
Right.
So you got history in boxing too, right?
Yeah, I boxed. Yeah, I won Golden Gloves last year.
I'm talking about when you was young though. Was you boxing back then?
You know what? When I was when I was young, I was boxing. I started boxing at 16.
Okay.
They say 16 years old. Matter of fact, what happened was, I was in Scotch Plains High, and I was getting suspended all the time. We used to beef with these other niggas too, but I was getting suspended all the time to a point where the principal signed me up for boxing. He was like, "Yo, are you going to the gym?"
Yeah.
Because I was fighting all the time. So I went to the gym instead, and I was only boxing there for about 5 months. My dad took me out that shit. He was like, "Nah, what you doing this shit?" Like real tough. He ain't like that. He's like, "Nah, this is too much." You feel me? But for real, it was the best thing that happened to me because it really did help me with my temper. But not for nothing, I got expelled from that school because I popped off a big ass riot in that school, got expelled. So it was like, you know, it was like.
That's crazy. I never heard of that town until you told me about it, Nick. I never heard of Scotch. There's a lot of towns up there.
Scotch Plains is actually like a suburb, for real. But what's so crazy is that we was living on Jackson Ave, and I think that's Front Street, and it was like literally when you cross that avenue, I forgot what it is right there, bro. But once you cross over, you in Plainfield. Oh, so literally, it's right there.
So you used to hang out in Plainfield, pretty much.
Now I ain't hang out with I had my best friend was from Plainfield, and then I always rocked with Plainfield niggas. I had a lot of homies out there. One of my main homies that like my main homie Dean, I just seen him on Sunday. He locked up. He from Liveside. He from Liberty.
All right. So basically, I mean, I know these answers, but I'm gonna still ask you for the people that don't know. So how was your bid when you like? Was it a smooth bid? Was it a rough bid? Like how was it?
As a juvenile,
yeah,
my shit was smooth.
I know,
and honestly, my shit was smooth because when I was going down there, I already knew like this shit was it. Even before I went down there, it was shit in my county that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
So that shit even prepared me more for going down there because. When I went down there, I was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna be the nigga to pop off. I'm not letting nobody pop off for me. Like, we got thousands of kids down here from different cities in New Jersey. Everybody's trying to make a name. You got the Bloods, you got the Crips, you got the Muslims, and then you got Haitians. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got some certain Spanish niggas down there, but niggas is either Blood or Crip, real talk. And then you got the Haitians. And like
they was deep down there.
We wasn't super deep, but we had enough. We had 11.
Yeah.
And for us, like 11 niggas, 11 Haitian niggas is equivalent to like 40 niggas.
Because the loyalty is different.
So we was good. You feel me?
So and where were a lot of them Haitians was from?
Pleasantville, Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. You know, there was another brother that was from Linden.
It's a lot from Newark and Irvington. I know they got big Haitian populations too.
But you know what's so crazy though? It wasn't even a lot of it was more so Haitians from South Jersey, like Atlantic and Pleasantville.
They was deep.
That was deep. That was more up there.
Okay.
And then you know, me being there, you feel me? I was from Elizabeth. I used to take all my niggas rounds. So that's why, like when it was smooth because like. I felt like I was like I had my own little thing going on. Like you feel me? I kept my guys out of trouble. I made sure all my little guys, they all went to programs. And I eventually been down there by myself. And you would think like, oh, niggas finna eat me because now I'm by myself. But literally being by myself down there, nah, I was straight. Shout out to my man Willie Will too, because he was down there with me.
Yeah, I heard of him too, like through the prison system. I heard his name before. Like,
yeah, free him. He down there with my man Dean, matter of fact.
Oh, he in Northern?
Yeah, he in Northern right now.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, I know you got into a lot of fights down there, but you said you was taking everybody rounds and stuff.
Yeah. When I was there, I done had over 40 fights down there. Dang, like my rap name down there, cause they had a recording studio down there.
Oh,
so like, you gotta understand, when I went down there, I was on Fight and Rampage. So like after like a year of going off, like and really being on some animal shit, my last 2 years like of whatever time I had to do was smooth because everybody knew who the fuck I was.
Yeah.
So even the new niggas coming in, it wasn't like, yo, you know, niggas will let niggas know like, yo, you don't want to fuck with him, you don't want to fuck with him, you don't want to fuck with him. You had just certain niggas that you don't want to, you know what I mean? So for me, my time ended up going down smooth, and we had a studio down there. So I was working in the studio, I was making beats, I was recording raps and shit. And I ended up start teaching other kids how to do that, and that's what really kept me out of trouble because now, like I play as like big brother or a teacher. Like I've been down here sometime, like little niggas come in like, yo, look, you want to be in the studio? This how you do that. So I ended up being like a teacher's assistant and really like start mentoring dudes down here.
So you being from Elizabeth, would you say that there's a lot of tension between North and South Jersey?
Bro, when we was down there, bro.
Because you said you was running with a lot of South Jersey dudes, so obviously you wasn't involved in that.
Yo, look, all that, whatever business that they had, whether it was Blood against Crip or whatever, all that shit, we was out of that.
Yeah.
You know, like we stayed out of all of that. You know what I mean? Like, now don't get it twisted. If there was somebody that we was beefing with and they were either Blood or Crip, let's say we beefing with a Crip nigga, Bloods that interfere and be like, yo, look, we gonna, you know what I mean? We with y'all.
Yeah.
And then
So look.
it's like they'll put us in a position where like, they riding with us, but now you gonna want a favor.
Yeah.
You feel
So
me?
was it any Haitians that was banging too?
Yeah. It was one Haitian banging Blood.
So was he with y'all or was he with the Bloods?
He was with the Bloods until I grabbed him. I said, bro, you got it. You can't do that shit here, bro.
So
Like,
what the homies say? They was on him about that?
They ain't nobody gonna do nothing because I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yo, you gotta get right. Like you gotta be, you know, you got brothers here.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So look, you know, when you came home, like around, was it like 2010 when you came home, right?
2010, yeah.
Alright, so what made you come down to Philly? 'Cause I remember when you came out, you came straight down here.
Alright, so basically I ended up maxing out 3 years, my juvenile time, and Jersey got a thing where they did that. Whatever your time is, you got to take 1/3 of your time and do post incarceration.
Like
Which means that if they gave me 3 years, 1/3 of that is a year. I got to do a year on parole, even though I maxed out my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order for me to dodge that, you got to leave. You got to you got to be released at a different state.
Oh, okay.
So I end up going to Philly because I got a lot of family in Philly.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Philly, living with my cousin, and I ended up I ended up having probation for like 2 months, and they just dismissed it and let me go home. It was crazy because Philly was like, "You did 3 years for armed robbery? We giving out programs for that." I'm looking at them like, "What?"
Yeah, Philly different, man. Like,
Yo,
you
son.
can get a lot. It's Commonwealth, so you would think it's worse. But for the most part, it's a city where people die all the time. So like certain things that's a big deal in Jersey ain't big out here.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It just ain't. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
when she found out, when she said, she's like, "You did 3 years as juvenile?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You did it straight?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna just dismiss this. If I knew you did 3 years the whole time, we would have never kept you."
Wow.
So I did 2 months on pro. She literally said that she would have dismissed my whole probation the first day I came in.
Shout out to Phil, man. Cousin Phil.
Shout out to Philly, man.
I mean,
and shout out to my cousin Phil for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's my cousin too. So that's how we linked up. You know what I mean, because we got mutual family members or whatever.
Yep.
So what made you leave the streets alone? Like I remember when you came down here, you was working at IHOP, you was doing your thing.
Yeah.
Then you know that shit was moving slow, so you started getting in the streets or whatever. And you know whatever happened after that. Yeah. But eventually it became a point where you said, "Man, I'm done with this. I'm gonna leave all this behind." And you chose to go a different route, and that's what I really wanted to get into. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, what was it that made you? I know you caught a couple cases down here.
Yeah.
So what was it that made you say, "Man, all right, man, it's over, man. I'm done with this."
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I caught a gun charge out here, right? This was like 2015. I had a firearm charge. What's so crazy was Philly gave me a firearm charge, and they couldn't even find a firearm. But they still gave me a firearm charge.
Based off what somebody told.
Just based off what somebody told. And then, you know, I had a $100,000 bail, ended up bailing out. So I always had that shit lingering on my back. You feel me? So, for real, when I end up going in Jersey, because at that time that shit happened, I still had probation in Jersey. When I went to probation, they violated me when I went to court. They violated me because I got in trouble with PA and all that. So now the county want me to do a year.
Yeah.
They wanted me to do a year in the county. Now this is a couple months, you know, down the line because I always kept violating whatever, and I was going through trials and tribulations with this whole case for the firearm in Philly. So I'm back and forth. But when I'm in Jersey, they motherfucking got me in the county for a year. So now when I'm in the county now, I filed for an appeal. But by the time before I filed for the appeal, bro, I sat back and looked at everybody around me, bro, in the jail, and I just was like, yo, I can't be in here no more. I can't be locked up no more. Because I see a group of niggas here arguing about some dumb shit, grown ass men. A group over here, niggas talking about some dumb shit. Another group over here talking about some weird shit. And I'm just looking around, I'm just like, bro,
This ain't for me, man.
This is not for me. I ain't supposed to be in here. I'm smarter than this. And I knew that in order for me to really try to make it, The only thing was the budget. Be like, all right, look, let me try to go about it the right way. So I had a plan, and I ended up winning my appeal. Ended up going home for 2 months. And the first thing I did was take my money that I saved up from the drug game that my mother was holding for me, took all that bread, and then invested in school. And I was literally taking a bus and a train to school in Jersey City, back and forth. I paid for a trade school, so it was like for 4 months.
What you was doing?
I was learning plumbing, electric, demolition. You know what I mean? It's like construction. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So I know that you ended up getting into the CMOS game or whatever. They call you the Mossgod and everything. So what was it that made you get into the CMOS game?
Man, yo, that joint a long story how I got in the CMOS game, man. But you know, I was dealing with this female, and you know, she had a lot of bread. You feel me? And she was trying to figure out what to do with her bread. So, you know, I'm a guy with a lot of ideas. I was like, yo, you know, we were smoking a lot of weed, and that Fonto grab leaf from Jamaica, we used to always buy that in New York, put that in our weed. We used to always smoke that. So I was like, yo, we should import this shit to the USA. Because I'm like, yo, for me, I was sick of just driving up to New York all the time to grab this shit. So I'm like, yo, we should import this shit. Yo, this shit could be big business. We could package it up and sell it out here. So she was with it. I ended up helping her get her export and import and license for tobacco. You know what I mean? Took us like a year, but she ended up getting it. And then I ended up getting a good job at this like warehouse, like a maintenance manager and shit. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You was doing all right with that too.
Yeah. What's that? Because what happened was, see, like when I went to school for the 4 months.
Yeah.
After I went to school for 4 months. And I'm talking about grinding, bro. I was living with my moms. I ain't even fucking with nobody. So I'm just taking the train and bus to school and coming back. I remember waiting on a bus in Elizabeth, bro. And I got niggas, other Haitian niggas, because you know it's still other Haitian niggas that hate on other Haitian niggas. Yeah. And I got dumb niggas passing by and they looking, they like, yo, what the fuck? Because nobody was never used to seeing me at a bus stop.
Yeah, like,
I was always in the fly car. Yeah. So for me, it was like, everything I was trying to do, I was trying to prove to myself, like, yo, I want to do it the right way, and I don't want to do nothing illegal. Like, I just want to work hard. So that's the sacrifice that I made for niggas to laugh at me, all that shit, bro. You know, and I went back and forth after 4 months. I got my certificate, my OSHA 10, whatever that shit called. And I ended up going to a staffing agency. Staffing agency ended up putting me into a company called Browry. And it was just when they coming up. And you go to your supermarkets now, you see them all over. It's like indoor plant, and they plant like arugula or whatever that shit called, salads and all types of shit, right? So I was like part of the robotics team. Shit was crazy, bro. Like the shit that I was doing over there. And they end up paying me like $30 an hour, 500 stocks to the company. Like niggas was fucking with me so hard. And I remember when it was like, yo, actually what happened was with the staffing agency, it was like 100 of us. We were all temp workers. But they took a liking to me so much because of my hard work. Out of 100 niggas, I was the only one to get hired permanently. And that's when it was like, yo, we got an offer for you. $30 an hour, no, $28 an hour. 500 stocks to the company.
That was a lot back then. Like
that was it was a lot. Like I was
like getting paid 20 back then.
I was getting paid. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Mind you, I'm just coming home, but I'm still got to deal with the firearm case in Philly. But I'm doing all this shit while I'm dealing with this shit. But what I realized is like, yo, I did right, and I put in bad work, and now I'm seeing the reward. But it was so fast. I thought I had to work a little harder because you gotta remember I did school for 4 months. Mm-hmm. I was with Barry for 30 days before they gave me an offer. So in 5 months, I had a job paying me $28. I remember when they gave me the job, bro. 2 weeks later, I went to the lot, copped the Audi A5 drop top. Yo, I remember pulling up to work in regular clothes because when I was in the staffing agency, they used to have like levels. Yeah. And they had a guy that was like above everybody telling niggas what to do. Some Spanish dude. And we always had like a little issue, you feel me? And then I remember like yesterday when they gave me the offer, I went to New York the next day, signed papers, came back. I'm going in and out of work. I'm still like in training, you know, and I still got my vest on. 2 weeks later, it was like, yeah, don't wear that vest no more. Come with regular clothes. Come with regular clothes as you work here. That's when I copped that Audi. This was like on a Friday, kept the Audi on the weekend. So I'm pulling up to the job in the Audi with the top down.
Yeah.
Yo, all legal. All legal. And then guess what? The Spanish dude that was my boss, he like, what the fuck going on here? They was already, antennas was up like, yo, why you always with them, the big guys?
Yeah.
What they doing over there? But I used to always play it like, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing. Like we just talking about regular shit, you feel me? When them niggas see me pulled up, now they tell the mechanical engineer saying like, yo, you the boss of all of them now. You tell them what
You told the Spanish dude what to do.
yo, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know? And yo, that's when my life changed forever, man, real talk. And I stayed with that company for like about 4 or 5 months. I ended up getting an offer from a maintenance manager company. That's how I got into that, and they end up paying me $32 an hour. Damn. And I'm really sitting behind the desk not doing nothing, just telling people what to do. And this is all from going to school for 4 months and putting it in work and having patience.
For sure.
So one of the guys that I'm telling what to do, he worked third shift, Jamaican brother. So I was like, yo, listen, yo, let me holler at you. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, yo, me and my shorty, we trying to get the grabber leaf. I was like, we trying to get the Fonto. He was like, Fonto, grabber leaf? I was like, yeah, grabber. He's like, yeah, my soldier, and we was in the army together. He down in Jamaica right now, Trelawney. He'll show you he'll introduce you all the tobacco farmers. I'm like, word? Son, 2 weeks later, I quit that job and I took that shit full throttle because I was dedicated to doing that.
That was a crazy risk.
It was a crazy risk.
A lot of people wouldn't have did that.
And a lot of people would do that, but you know what it is, bro? For me, I couldn't sit behind the desk and collect a paycheck. Yeah. I was always a boss type nigga.
For sure.
I was always like, yo, look, we making this move, this what we doing. So now when I had that opportunity to go to Jamaica and bust moves like that, my adrenaline rush started coming back. And I started getting excited. I was like, oh, nah, this is what I gotta do. So I was dedicated to that. And you already know, I called you, I'm like, yo, look, I'm going to Jamaica. And you was like, yo, look, if you get that sea moss, you gonna be rich, bro. And it was always in my mind, like, all right, like, I'm gonna see what's up, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you was focused on that tobacco, though. That's what you was focused on.
I was trying to get that tobacco. That was the main thing. And I was like, yo, if I run to the sea moss, I run to the sea moss. Like, fuck it. So, long story short, we going back and forth from Jamaica back and forth. We meet the tobacco farmers, everything. Like, you know, we got shit lit. We about to get shit moving. We actually bringing samples back, getting feedback from everybody. Everybody loving the tobacco. So, about the second, third time I went out there, it was hot as hell. We setting up a bank account. Because now we got to figure out how to transfer the money a little bit more easier. We was doing Western Union. Now we transferring a lot more money. So, we setting up a bank account. And I'm telling you, bro, it was like 1,000 niggas in the bank. I'm talking about this shit was hot as hell, scorching hot. So I tell my man Wally, that was his name, Wally, that's what I was with. I'm like, Wally, let's go across the street, cause his girl was there. I'm like, let them handle the bank account. Let's go across the street, get something cool to drink. So I go across the street, get some cool drink with him. First thing that I see, first of all, it was a corner store in Jamaica. The Chinese people in that joint running that shit. Wow. Just like how they running out, they running that joint out here. It was crazy, bro. And then they talking patois and everything. If they had a mask, you wouldn't even know it was a Chinese motherfucker behind that mask.
That's crazy.
And they talking Jamaican patois and everything. But first thing I see when I walk in there, I look to the right, see the sea moss. I'm like, yo, Wally, that's sea moss? He's like, yeah, that's sea moss, man. I'm like, yo, I want all that shit. It was the gold, you know, the gold with the bullshit on it. Yeah. I ain't know, cause I'm thinking about him. Like all I'm thinking about, like, yo, my man Ross said, like, yo, if I get the sea moss, I'm gonna get this money. Now, mind you, when I see the sea moss, it was like God talking to me because I started having issues with Shorty. Mm-hmm. So I was already looking for a way out of the tobacco game. I was gonna still help her, but I was looking already for a way out so I could drift to get the sea moss. Yeah. Because I didn't want it to be a waste of time for me. I'm like, yo, I've been out here, like, all this shit, like. So I ended up taking the sea moss, Gave it to you. We got rid of that shit, right? Super fast. I'm like,
Like it was
work.
work. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this the lane. I'm like, yo, this the lane. Like, real rap. So after that, that's how I got into that sea moss.
So look, you started off. You had a kiosk in the mall, Franklin Mills Mall. I think it's called Philadelphia Mills.
Nah, you missed the most important.
Oh no.
part.
First, you was in the crib with it.
Nah,
Northeast?
even before then.
All right.
When I got back, I remember I had lost trial for the firearm in Philly.
Yeah.
And I had to go in for sentencing. They was trying to give me
3 to
5
6.
years.
I think it was gonna be 3 to 6.
It was like a 3 to 6, but they was trying to give me 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I had. There was an attorney that I went to go see, Kelly. Everybody in Philly, they know Kelly.
Yeah.
But he's terrible. But anyway, he gonna give you 5 years. You're gonna get 5 years for this. Cause I didn't hire him. I was like, no, I can't hire you, man. He's like, they're gonna give you 5 years for this, Charlie. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. So the day I was supposed to go in for sentencing, I remember Wally from Jamaica was like, yo, if you ever get in a situation, just come to Jamaica. You won't even have to call me. I'm gonna come pick you up at the airport. So I'm like, all right, that's good to know. This is like around the first time I met Wally. So I already had that in my mind, like, oh, I whenever I need that, I got that.
Mm-hmm. You could dip if you got
I
some
could dip when I,
statute of limitations. 7 years, you be all right.
You feel me? But so I gotta go for sentencing. Mind you, my nigga, I'm coming off having $32 an hour job.
Good.
You want me to turn myself in after I've been doing right and doing all this shit? Now I gotta go back to be locked up with these niggas?
Yeah, in a different state.
These dumbass niggas? Like, yo, you think I wanna be locked up with these niggas? Yo, and then it's in Philly. Like, I've been down there, like before I got bailed out, I was down there for like 2 days.
CFCF.
See, so I already know what's going on. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck?
They stabbing dudes with swords.
Called my mans up. I called my mans up like, yo, get the fuck out of here. At first I was like, yo, look, I'm gonna wait it out because this shit bullshit. I'm coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, after like a day around these things, I'm like, oh hell nah, man. Yo, get me out of here. So they posted my bill.
Mm-hmm.
So now fast forward the day I'm supposed to turn myself in. I'm like, ain't no way I'm going in that jail, bro. So I take my flight to Jamaica. And I remember before I did it, I called 2 people. I called you and I called Jeff. And I said, yo, I'm going to Jamaica. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going off with this sea moss. I'm going to do right. And I'm going to do so right. Now when I come back, these niggas can't put me in jail. Because I'm going to do right. So I end up going to Jamaica, calling Wally. Wally picked me up. And then I'm living in Trelawney now, in the trenches. Just me, Wally, and his shorty. And while he calling me, Lawrence Alzine, I'm in Jamaica eating pineapples. Foot up, eating pineapples. Like, just chilling, like, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, like, yeah, man, shit was crazy, bro.
So you end up coming back, and on sentencing, you gave like a little speech, right? Didn't you like talk to the judge, and that's why she was like, yo, I ain't gonna lock you up because you gave it.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was there was a time that I went to court, and it was during Ramadan, and I'm not Muslim, but I had went in there, and I was wearing all white. I think I was wearing blue jeans and a white T-shirt, and then I had a hat on. And I forgot what she said. But I told her I was Muslim.
You told her that?
I told her, I forgot why I said that. But I was like, I don't know if it's because I wanted to keep my hat on. It's probably because I wanted to keep my hat on. I had dreads. My shit was like wild. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm Muslim. Like, you know, she's like, why you wearing white? It's Ramadan. And I didn't know. I'm like, wait, what? Like I was stuck. Like, you feel me? So ever since then, she always looked at me like a liar. So during trial and all this time, she always looked at me as a liar. And I knew back in my mind that she thought that I was a liar. So the day of sentencing, the day when she's like, you know, before the day that we actually come back for official sentencing for turning yourself in. I forgot what that day is, but when we went in, I was telling her like, Because actually, this was what she was supposed to give me the years. Yeah, 5 years. This is the
lost trial.
Yeah, a lost trial. So she was like, this was when I had a chance to speak, and I was like, listen, Your Honor, I remember the day that we first met. And I was like, I know that you think I'm a liar because that day I said I was Muslim, and I want to say I apologize because I'm not Muslim. You know, but I know you ever since then you thought that I was a liar. But I want to let you know I'm an honest man, like blah, blah. And once I told her that, her face kind of like relaxed. It wasn't like as tense as it always was. And she understood everything I said. And she was
It was
like,
a black lady or white lady?
It was a black lady. I forgot her name.
Like one of her kids or something. You probably wanted her like a son or something. Like
yeah, but again, she did me a favor by giving me time to get my shit together before I turned myself in. Yeah. But she still was like, yo, you doing fine.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me? So, but for me, it was a win because I thought they was trying to give me more. I thought they was trying to give me like 8, 9.
Yeah.
So they was like, oh, you doing fine? I'm like, all right, we work with that, you know. But, yeah, I didn't go. I didn't go to Citizen. I went to Jamaica. And that's when I started shipping sea
So you ended up getting probation from that case though, right?
So basically what happened was 2 months I stayed in Jamaica. I ended up coming back. In between time, I was always sending the purple sea moss down to the States and we were selling it like that. And when I came back to the States, instead of me coming, I came back with like 200 pounds of sea moss, paid for extra luggage and everything, begged these niggas to let me ride with this shit. I ended up coming instead of flying into Philadelphia, I flew into New York. And when I flew into New York, TSA stopped me and said, we suspect you have marijuana in your bag. So what I gotta do, like I already know I got a warrant, like I'm not finna argue with this guy. I'm like, yo, check my bags. I don't got marijuana on me. So he checked, and there's like 3 TSA agents and they see sea moss. They see all sea moss. It was like, what is this? I was like, it's sea moss. They was like, what's sea moss? So now I'm explaining to them what sea moss is. Sea moss, their body's made out of 92, your 102 minerals, sea moss got 92, it's a superfood, blah, blah, blah. It started with 3 TSA agents. After like 5 minutes explaining what sea moss is, we had about like 8, 9 TSA agents.
They was all interested.
They was all interested in sea moss. For me, this is my business, this is my product. This is the only thing I got. So I'm looking at this like, oh yeah, this gonna move. Because I can speak and I know how to.
Now you got them ready to buy some of you.
And I've got them ready to buy. So for me, I'm like, oh, we're going to do great. But I'm still in a dilemma now, right? There's a janitor that's 10 feet away, 15 feet away. He's like, yo, you like a Mossgod. And I'm like, yeah. That's how I got the name Mossgod. Because I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one. You feel me? So
you heard the whole spill?
Yeah, because he was just sitting there with his mop and he was just listening, like easing in. You gotta understand, I got a whole bunch of bags. TSA that he just checking my shit. They like, what the fuck this nigga got? So he like, yeah, you like the Mossgod? I'm like, yeah, I'm Mossgod. So the guy let's say, yo, we got good news and bad news. I'm like, damn, what's the bad news? He's like, the bad news is you got a warrant in Philadelphia for possession of firearm. I'm like, damn, like what's the good news? He's like, good news is Philadelphia ain't coming to pick you up and we not dropping you off, so you free to go. I took all my bags, paid a nigga $90 to drive me to Bluebell, PA. Linked up with my cousin Phil, because you know I was living in Phil. I was living with Phil when I got paroled, and now I came call Phil. Yo, Phil, I need a spot, bro. He's like, come here, cuz. So I came over there. He let me rock out in his basement.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I set up shop. And I started from the bottom of this shit. You know, the story's longer, you know, in between, but I started from the bottom. I set up shop, and I was still on the run. And then 3-4 months later, I stacked up all my bread, ended up going to Franklin Mills, opened up a kiosk where I was selling sea moss. At that time, I got multiple different products because I had to move to my own apartment. Right before I did that, I moved to my own apartment, and then I had, I was creating product. I was always in the house. I wasn't going outside, and I wasn't going outside because I was scared to get bagged.
Yeah.
Because I had that warrant, so I was like, yo, I'm staying in the house. If I stay in the house, these niggas can't get me at all. Because I ain't never going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So
I'm Instacarting, DoorDashing, everything. Go puffing everything. I'm not coming outside. And if I am coming outside, I'm stupid clean. Like I'm jogging, I'm on a bike, you know, exercising type shit. So I end up and you know what's crazy, what I forgot to mention, bro? My journey in Jamaica, bro. Because when I was in Jamaica, I thought I was gonna eat like jerk chicken, shrimp, all this shit, like, right? You feel me? Like, I'm talking about like all the finest Jamaican food. And Wally was a vegan, bro. And I forgot Wally was a vegan. So we in the trenches, there's no places you just walk across the street like a McDonald's to get something to eat. Mm-hmm. I remember Wally and his wife brought me my plate to eat that first night that I came off that run. And it was like ackee, yam, tomatoes and sauteed peppers.
Dope.
And passion fruit juice.
Wow. The
passion fruit juice was rocking, then a plate of fruit.
Bro, in shape, man.
But I was looking at that food like, I don't want to eat this. I want that jerk chicken, like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Wally was like, yo, if you don't want to eat this, you can always go and get some food wherever you need to get it. Mm-hmm. I don't got a car to go down there, so I'm like, I take food. I know what he's saying. Mm-hmm. So yo, he say like, yo, if you don't eat, you starve. Yeah. So I understood that, so I started eating that. You know, in 4 days after I eat, I'm eating right, and I gotta run with this thing and everything. I'm breaking rubbles and stone and shit because we working on tobacco thing together at the time. Do you know that I was running 4 miles a day off eating right, changing my diet? I was running 4 miles a day on the 4th day. And the shit that I was doing, my nigga, it was rehabilitation. Like, it made me grateful, you know, for everything that I had. And I knew that when I came back to the States, I was gonna come back a monster.
Was you like taking herbs and stuff too?
I was taking herbs. Wally introduced me to multiple different healers, you know, in different parts of, I went to Spanish Town, Clarendon, St. James, Kingston 4, you know, I was all over that joint, bro. St. Elizabeth, I was all over that joint. And he introduced me to multiple healers that shared their formulas and their knowledge with me. Right. See, the thing with me is, like, I'm a businessman. So I know how to take something and make it into a product, and I know how to market it. Yeah. But what was so special about this was not only was it a product that I could market and make money off of it, but it was a product that I was using and I knew it worked. Yeah. Because I was actually running 4 miles every day and I was feeling alive. You know, when I smoke weed, that should be having me cool. But when I was in Jamaica, I was still live.
And you were still smoking?
I was still smoking all day and I'm just live. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, I learned so much, man. So that's what initially made me get serious with CMOS. That's when I knew when I came back to the States, I had a plan. Like, yo, I'm going to market this CMOS. I'm going to promote it. And I'm going to make my money and I'm going to stack it. And I did that. And then that's when I opened up the kiosk in Franklin Mills. And, man, even the story with the kiosk, bro, like how I even got into that. I called all black-owned herb shops, all places in Philly. Nobody wanted to let me in. And I just wanted to put a vending machine in there. I never wanted to do this, the store and the kiosk and all this. I just wanted to have a vending machine that sells CMOS, and I don't got to do nothing. That shit gonna make money for me. That's all I wanted to do. Because you got to think, my mindset was, how am I make money on the run? I don't have to be near this vending machine all day. It's gonna make money for me. I just go there and collect.
Yeah, I remember you had that vending machine. Yeah.
And I still got it. Yeah, well, I sold it now.
Oh, you sold it?
Yeah, I sold it now when I left Franklin Mills. But when I went to, I called Willow Grove Mall. Willow Grove Mall was like, yo, you got a good idea, but we can't have this vending machine here. I'm gonna give you the number for Franklin Mills. So I was like, I appreciated that. I called Franklin Mills. A girl named Nancy, she gave me a shot. And we got like their interview on me, right? And I'm coming in with all my products, and I'm showing them my products, like they had like a panel of 3, 4 people, and I'm showing them my products. I'm like, yo, this is what I got. I got the mud mask, I got the skin oil, blah blah. But I just want to put the CMOS, this vending machine, in your store. I don't want to sell this. I want to just put the vending machine, but I just want to let you know that my company is a real company. You know, and at this time, my shit was samples. You know, so it was still going through a year of it going past, like, you know, not molding, like different things that I had to go through to make sure the product stood still. They was like, we need to think about this, step out real quick. So I stepped out, came back in. They're like, yo, can't do the vending machine. It's like, you need a vending machine and you need a kiosk. So that shit caught me by storm. I was like, wait, what? And I ain't no dumb nigga. I'm like, yo, y'all want me to have a kiosk because it's gonna be more money. I pay y'all more for the rent. You know what I mean? But I picked their brand. I'm like, yo, she was like, you sell products so good that we know you're gonna be successful here. Franklin Mills was dead.
Yeah.
It was dead.
Still kind of dead for real.
Yo, I said, yo, you know what? I worked with it because she was the only one that gave me an opportunity out of everybody. So for me, I'm like, yo, you know what? We're gonna put this work in. I'm like, it's a trap, and I gotta get it jumping. I asked her, I'm like, how much I'm projected to make here? You think with this kiosk, if I go this route? She's like, we think you could make 500 a day. I'm like, yeah? She's like, yeah. I said, all right, let's do it. I set up the kiosk. Let's just say this. 2 months later, I set up the kiosk January 15th. I opened up the store March 25th, a 3,600 square foot learning center in Philadelphia Mills.
Oh.
In 2 months, I did that. Within that year, I opened up 2 more stores in Griffin, Georgia, and Delaware.
Oh.
And it all goes back to me going to that right direction. See, when I went on a run, it was like I wasn't going to the other side of town to hide and do. I knew that, like, yo, if I'm gonna go on a run, I have to change my life. I have to come back with a super plan.
Yeah.
But before I opened those 2 stores and I had that 1 store, people used to come into my store all the time. They'd be like, you changed my life, man. If it wasn't for you, I'll be dead. Like, I lost weight, my high blood pressure gone, diabetes gone. Oh, you saved my life, bro. And that shit used to touch me, bro. And I used to be like, damn, like, niggas saying I'm Saturday night, but I'm still on a run. I'm like, yo, I gotta right my wrongs. I gotta get this out the way. I can't be, cause even then I wasn't even going hard like how I wanted to go hard.
You ain't get caught. You turned yourself in, right?
I turned myself in. I called them, and I was like, yo, I got a warrant, but I want to let y'all know that I got a learning facility for kids and adults to learn about herbs and sea moss. You know, and I was like, yo, I just want to right my wrongs. Still pronouncing my innocence, but I want to right my wrongs. And she was like, all right, we're going to do court date on Zoom. We're going to give you she put me on hold for 5 minutes. Judge was like, they're going to give me a Zoom court date on the computer. So when they said that, I was like, oh, I'm not going to jail. After being on the run for 2 years. And I call them. They like, yo, we're going to give you a court on Zoom on a computer. So I'm on Zoom, and it was like, yeah, you're going to put you on house arrest. You got to come down, get on the bracelet. We're going to put you on house arrest. While you're on house arrest, you can work at your store.
So they let you rock out because you had the store?
They let me rock out because I had the store.
The judge had to okay that, though?
The judge okayed it off the rip because I wasn't being a menace to society.
Good. And this is
like,
Philadelphia, too.
This is Philadelphia. Yo, you know what's so crazy? Before this shit happened, I remember I told y'all niggas, I'm like, yo, I'm going to do so right that when I come back, yo, there's no way they going to put me in jail. If I got a 3,600 square foot facility, a learning facility for kids and adults, why would they put me in jail?
I mean, you still black at the end of the day, like.
From it, feel me? But I knew that when I went to go see the judge and I called them, I needed ammo. And my ammo was
this,
like,
man, don't try this at home, kids.
His
situation is a special situation.
Yeah, this ain't for anybody to copy what I do and try to copy off my style, because at the end of the day, this is a 1 in a billion type of thing.
Yeah,
it's not
it
gonna
doesn't
happen for everybody.
The story usually don't end like this.
You ain't never hear a story like this before. You know, this is a special case. You feel me? So like, at the end of the day, don't try this at home. But the reality is, man, when I came back and I did this, I came back as a pillar. When I called them and I was like, I want to right my wrong, I came back as a pillar in my community. I was somebody that was giving back, and I was giving back in a righteous way. So how you gonna put me in jail? And that's the position that I put them niggas at. And they had to respect it. One, they would have never called me. I told them they would have never called me if I never called them. So one, I'm the one who called you. You didn't call me. I called you. And not only did I call you, Judge, but I'm doing right out here. How you gonna put me in jail? So by the grace of God, bro, they didn't put me in jail, and I ended up being on house arrest.
They let you off early.
They let me off I was there for like 2 months on house arrest, but then I had to do like 2 months on probation, which was like light. I just had to call in because I wanted to travel and open up a store. He let me go to Griffin, Georgia, to open up a store, and then I went to Delaware, opened up a store. And I remember calling the judge. Me and him had such a cool relationship that I was able to call the courts, his chambers. I was able to call and set up my court dates with him. All I had to do was call. Hey, look, it's the Mossgod. Tell the judge I want to see him. I swear to God. Yo, it's the Mossgod. Tell the judge I want to see him. Yo, they set up my court date. I swear to God. God strike me if I'm lying, bro. They'll set up my court date a week later. All right, we're going to set you up for a week later. And I remember going to the judge the last time and saying, Your Honor. He's like, yo, the court started, right? Somebody came up before me, whoever it was, John Smith, whatever, $500,000 bail. Nigga, next thing came $750,000 bail. Lawrence Alcine, I come up. He's like, you see this guy right here? The judge's like, you see this man right here? You see this guy right here? This guy he says, this guy is an example that the system works. Now, you know me, I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But he like, this is the example that the system works. So he telling niggas like, yo, you want to be like this guy. And he like, Mr. Alcine, how can I help? I said, Your Honor. He's like, matter of fact, how's business? I said, Your Honor, business is good. I got 3 stores, Philly, Delaware, Griffin. We healing the community. I used to kill him, Judge. Now I heal him, Your Honor. And then he like, man, this is so beautiful. He's like, so I mean, you got everything you want. You got your 3 locations. You only got to call in. You don't even have to seek probation. What can I help you with? I'm like, Your Honor, I got to take it to the next level. I need to go to Ireland. It's time for me to meet the brother that helps me become the man I am today. Now I get my CMOS from Ireland. Once I did my research, I realized that Jamaica had that bullshit CMOS. Now I get my CMOS from Ireland, Conscious Crispus. Irish Moss, the original Irish Moss.
The one that Dr. Sabi talked about.
The one that Dr. Sabi talked about. And the only one he talked about. Conscious Crispus. So, I'm like, Your Honor, I need to go to Ireland. I need to meet my guy. Really wanted to say I want to meet my plug, but I want to meet my guy, Your Honor. It's about time. I got to show the people. I got to teach the people. I got to show them what I'm going through. He's like, well, what's stopping you? And I'm like, Your Honor, I'm on probation. I can't go nowhere. He's like, prosecution, any objection to us dismissing this case for Mr. Alcine. Fully dismissing this case. Prosecution stood up so fast, it was like, Your Honor. This is like, you got to understand. This kid is supposed to do 5 years. We had him on house arrest for 2 months. He's been on probation for not even 3 months. And we're talking about dismissing the case? He's like, yeah, I know you were going to say that. He's like, Mr. Alcine, we're going to dismiss this case.
Wow.
He's like, you don't have to come to court no more. He's like, I want you to go out there. I want you to do what you got to do. Go to Ireland. And I went to Ireland in 2 weeks after that.
So look, man, we about to wrap this thing up. We getting at an hour right now.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, man, what would be your advice you give to like an up and coming dude? You know what I'm saying? And that's trying to change their life around. And what would be your advice to them? Like, what would you tell yourself, the 17-year-old you back then? What would you say to him right now?
Damn. What would I tell my 17-year-old self right now?
That was all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Was on the block, was getting in a beef, doing all the stuff that they do now. You know what I'm saying? You went through that, bro. So, what would you say to yourself?
I would have told him. I would have said, yo, fuck niggas, man. You know, you too smart. You too big for this. Fuck niggas, man. Find you that one girl. You know what I mean? Hopefully she see that vision with you. Hopefully she see the man that you are. And use your head, bro, and take the shit all the way to the sky. If I knew what I do now, we all know that saying. If I knew what I do now.
One thing I can say, man, that that I've seen from watching you all these years, and that I know for myself too, when I became successful, is you gotta take some type of sacrifice. Like, it don't come easy and it don't come overnight. Sometimes you just gotta cut everything off and just lock in. You know what I'm saying? And I seen you do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that was a big key to your success. Cause me, I was still ripping and running. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had the patience you had. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I remember you used to pick me up. I used to call you like, yo, Rod, I need something. You used to come and be like, yo, Rod, like, God.
Yeah, I was selling the CMOS for a minute too. I was with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I reverted to what I was doing, but you stuck with it, and I seen you. And I mean, that's why I'm like, yo, whatever you had, you got success, you earned it. You know what I'm saying? Because, but just in anything that you're trying to do, you're gonna have to lock in. There's gonna be a time where they're gonna laugh at you. They're not gonna see your vision. They're gonna be like, yo, what is he doing? He's a nut. What he got on? Why he ain't driving? Like, but you just gotta stay with it, man, and eventually it'll pay off.
Hey, listen, man. I like my whole thing too about the sea moss, cause like what I do. Look, I got something called Moss Haze. This is Damian and Mullen Leaf. You can smoke this, clean your lungs out. I got a whole bunch of product. You go to mossgod.com, mossgod.com. You're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff. Come to my store, 2000 North Front Street. We just opened up in Philly, at the heart of Philly, Fishtown, great area. 2000 North Front Street. Everybody's welcome. For the young dudes, bro, listen. I sell herbs. I sell sea moss, and I do it very, very well.
Probably get more money doing that than you probably ever did in the streets.
You feel me? That's a fact. Listen, I'm the biggest sea moss supplier in the United States because I went hard with it and I put in the work. And now my job is to put other people on to get the money too. But my main thing is to show these young niggas that you don't have to do this or you don't have to do that, the bullshit. And don't think that basketball, football is your only way out. It's so much ways to get this money out here. You just gotta be able to have, you gotta have this. You gotta have this. I sell sea moss. It's all I do. I mean, I breed dogs too.
Let me get the dogs. Let me get them. Hold on. I'm gonna take this joint off. You got the dogs too, man.
Yeah. So I breed dogs too. You feel me? So like I try to tell my young boys and stuff like that. Like listen, man. You could be fly. You could be living good. You feel me? Like, you ain't gotta sell drugs, bro. You keep it all legal, bro. And listen, you ain't no beef with nobody.
They don't want awards and everything.
Oh, nah, she just had a baby. He a father.
That's the one that won the award, right?
Yeah, this the one that won the award. Look, this is award right here. Exotic Male 2023. Bully Show. That was his first show.
That's what y'all heard in the background. It's like somebody was snoring. That was these dogs, man.
Yeah, Michael Exotic, man. This what I do, man. And this why I want to show the young boys too. Like, listen. Y'all can fuck around with shit like this too, man. This is all legal. You feel me? So it's just legal investments, man, and just staying out the way, man. No problems, no issue. You feel me?
No doubt, man. So, we're going to sign off on that, man. It's a great interview. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming on, man. It's the Kid HG. Got the boy Mossgod. Make sure y'all go tap in. Follow him on the gram and everything. Go to his new store. Was it 2000 North Front Street, right?
Yeah, 2000 North Front Street. You know what I mean? New store down in Fishtown, man. Come down, get some sea moss.
Get some
herbs.
Got
all types of flavors.
Smoothies,
herbs in there, all types of stuff, man. Yeah, come down. We're going to have the sour sop juice too. Official. Everything about health, man. Everything is about health, wealth, being positive, doing the right thing, man. Getting this legal money, man. That legal green, man. You feel me?
You can come where he come from. Ain't no excuses, man. He come from the mud just like everybody else.
Shout out to them Zoes too, man. Listen, I'm still that. I'm still that.
Still that.
But, yo, everything is under control.
But you this too.
It is love. Like, you feel me? Like, we out the way. But don't get it twisted. We still that.
We still that.